I have been waiting patiently for yesterday.
I bet you were.
I knew October 12th was the day. I follow Box Office Pro, which is it basically, they come out with long range projections and they continue to track them all the way up till the release. So I use them a lot. I knew that yesterday was going to be the day that we finally got the first actual estimates for the Marvels, and it did not disappoint at all. We've known for a while that the Marvels was going to have a problem being a profitable movie. Despite that bullshit rumor that came out that it was one of the least expensive movies in history, that was completely not true. And if anyone looked into it at all, you could tell that's not the case. It's actually one of the most expensive movies in MCU history. Just through September of last year, before another round of reshoots, before post-production and visual effects, before all this shit, the Marvels cost $270 million. This, in all likelihood, is going to be a movie that cost Marvel at least $300, potentially $350 million before you even get into marketing. And what is a movie like this going to do? The sequel to Captain Marvel, except you add in a bunch more characters that nobody cares about? Well, we finally have the answer. The long-range box office projections are here, and they are fucking abysmal. Opening weekend range, $50 to $75 million. To put that in perspective and see how it's tracking compared to some other things recently, the Marvels' long-range tracking earned $50 to $75 million in its domestic box office opening weekend. The pre-sales trends are currently 69% behind the pace of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which only opened at $118 million, by the way, and 42% behind the Eternals. Like, the Eternals made about $70 million, and its pre-sales are 42% behind that of Eternals. This could be one of the biggest disasters we've ever seen in Marvel Cinematic Universe history. Not just a bad box office result, but combine that with the fact that it's one of the most expensive movies they've ever made. This thing is going to be a nightmare. Think about The Flash, opened at $55 million, ended up making around $270 million worldwide total. That might be what we're talking about when it's all said and done for the Marvels. How do you feel about this, Jay?
So, according to MCU Direct Twitter's account, I don't know how accurate this is. Ryan can shed some light. It says the MCU's lowest ever opening belongs to the Incredible Hulk at $55 million. So if the Marvels comes in under $55 million, it will be the lowest ever opening for Marvel, for a Marvel movie. That is insanity.
It's true. Look right here.
People have walked away. Like, they have walked. Nobody cares. They have walked away.
This is sorted by opening weekend. This is every MCU movie we've ever seen. Incredible Hulk, $55 million.
There's so many things that are actually helping this film to do better. There's like no competition, correct? There's really not a lot of stuff out in the theaters to go see. So if people do want to go to the movies, the Marvels would be something that maybe they would just randomly pick. But still, to tank that low when there's like literally no excuse now. What excuse could they possibly use, that they didn't have the actors to help promote the film because of the strike? Or
I think that's going to help them. I think not having these people, these women out there speaking about the movie is actually going to help them in the long run, or hurt them less, we should say.
That's what I'm saying. So there's like, they have everything going for them that would help this movie do better, but it looks like it could be one of the worst ever. People have just walked away. They have walked away. I mean, the Loki episode 2. Did you know Loki episode 2 came out? Nobody's talking about it.
I have to watch it before FNT. Yes.
Nobody is. The only person I see talking about it is Gary. Like, that is it. And he just posts clips. I see nothing of it trending. I see nothing of Loki season 2 anywhere out there compared to season 1 when it was the most viewed, right?
Yep, the biggest series they've ever had. Yeah.
And so now it's like people are just like, well, I want to go see something else, or I just don't care anymore.
I think that it's going to lose more money than any movie they've ever had. I do think that. But
big one.
That doesn't mean that it's going to be like the lowest total, right? This production budget, legitimately, it's $300 million minimum. Could be more. Because again, through September of last year, September of 2022, they'd already spent $270 million on this thing. And they're going to get a tax break that'll bring it down to, 240, something like that. But with still all post-production, another round of reshoots, all of this stuff that still had to be spent on a movie that didn't come out for another year plus. So I think 300 million is a conservative estimate. At least another $100 million on marketing. Keep in mind, they spent about 150 million on stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor: Love and Thunder when it came to marketing. So minimum 300, minimum 100 million. You're talking about $400 million wrapped up in this thing. It's probably more like 450, which means it needs to, at a bare minimum, crack 800 million to break even. I thought that this was probably going to do in the realm of Ant-Man. It'd probably end up making like $400 million. This thing might be lucky if it hits $300 million worldwide at this point. It's going to be a nightmare for them. And man, oh man, I've been waiting for this day for a long time. 50 to 75 million.
Are we going to go see it together, brother?
I don't know.